All right, hello, class is in session, musical acronyms class that is. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys things that I learned about throughout this journey of creating an album that I did not know about before, that my producer, shout out, Damien Produces, whoop whoop, told me about. So number one, we have PRO. That stands for Performing Rights Organization. And basically this is like an organization that helps cover your assets and make sure that your works of music are protected. So there's a couple different types of PROs, and it doesn't really matter, I guess, which one you join. I joined this one that I'm about to talk about, which is ASCAP, and that stands for American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. It cost me a one-time fee of $50, but again, when you register with ASCAP or the other PRO that I'm going to talk about in a minute, you basically get an identifier. So that way you enter that identifier when you start publishing your music so people know that it is connected to you as an artist. So that's ASCAP. We also have the other option, which is, get my definition up, BMI, not Body Mass Index, but it stands for Broadcast Music Incorporated. Again, it does the same thing. You register in it. It gives you like this specific number that you can tag in different things just to identify you as the artist owning that piece of music. We also have ISRC, International Standard Recording Code. This is a 12-character identifying number that gets assigned to your piece of music. Basically, you will register with a distributor in order to publish your music. And when you do that, it gives it an ISRC number. And that number is, again, just what's used to track that piece of music across different platforms. So that way, you know how many streams you're getting, things like that. And it's tied back to the identifier that was given to you by your PRO. All right, next. This isn't an acronym, but splits. I had no idea what, my producer was like, hey, let me know if you need help with the splits. I was like, yeah, sure. And then I'm like Googling, what is that? So splits is basically how the money is split up or divided up when it comes to royalties. So because I write my music and I sing my music and I put it out there and publish it myself, then I get a certain percentage, and it would sound like I should get 100%, but my producer composed the music, so he made the beats. So we agreed that we were just going to split that 50-50. So in the system, when I go to register a song with my distributor, then I set up the split to where he gets basically half of the revenue, royalties, credit for that particular piece of music or that song, and then I get half because he did the composition and he mastered it and mixed it, and I sang it and I wrote the lyrics. So that's basically how that works. It's just making sure that the right people are getting the right amount of money. All right, next up, maybe. Okay, distributors. I referred to that just a moment ago. So a lot of people asked me how I got my music out there, and I actually used DistroKid, which is a distributor. I paid about $45, and basically, again, I registered myself. I put in there the identifier number that ASCAP gave me, so that way DistroKid knows to tell all of the different platforms like iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music. It tells them, hey, this song and this ISRC that I'm assigning to this particular song is attached to this particular artist. So DistroKid did all of the work for me. It put all my music on all the platforms. I just uploaded a WAV file to DistroKid. It also has like different promotional things that it allows you to do. Like it has little promo cards, or it has this feature where you can spin a wheel and get your song added to a DistroKid Spotify list, different things like that. But it's basically doing all the distribution for you. It also tracks your streams. It lets you know how much money you should be earning based off of your streams. So it does all that for you. I can tell you, I've had my music out since the beginning of July, and I've only been able to see the streams for Spotify. It hasn't shown me how much money I've made or anything like that from all the other platforms. I've heard it takes a couple of months to catch up, so I'll let you know how that goes. But that also brings me to a quick quiz, pop quiz question that I have for the class, which is, how much on average do you think an artist earns per 1,000 streams? That's going to be your pop quiz question. You can answer in the comments. Back to our lesson. As far as copyright is concerned, you do have to go to copyright.gov. And anytime that you are uploading a song, before you even put it in the distributor, or shortly after, I would say, I think I did mine shortly after, I registered my song via the WAV file to copyright.gov. That's $65 per song, or you can do an entire album or body of work for $65, but basically that's your legal protection. Technically, once you put pen to paper, or once you perform something live, or send an email of it, that makes it your work. However, what can happen is if something blows up and gets really popular, somebody can come along and say, oh, that's actually my body of work. And if you don't have it registered at copyright.gov, then you might have to get a lawyer and go to court and show your evidence. Whereas if you have it registered at copyright.gov, it's right there and you're just, further protected. So I did that with my songs I've put out, and we'll do that with the songs that are coming out. So one last one that I wanted to talk about when it comes to putting songs out, and I did not make a little flip chart for it, but it's EP. I did not know what that stood for because people were like, oh, you're going to put out an EP. I'm like, yeah, what is that? So an EP is an extended play. So I keep calling it an album. I've seen a couple of different things that designate what's an EP versus what's an album. I've heard if it's like 5 or so songs, then it's an EP or extended play. It just means like an artist might put out a single and then might put out an extended play just so you can hear some of their work. An album is usually a little bit longer. My album that I'm still calling it is actually going to be more than 5 songs, so I'm still going to categorize it as such. But EP, if you ever hear that, it just stands for extended play. So again, those are the acronyms that I wanted to share with you all. Again, pop quiz question. You can put the answer in the chat, which is, how much on average do you think an artist earns per 1,000 streams? That's what I have for you today. Talk later. Bye.